Sometimes we have to work on really understanding how to help people, even though they don't need help. And sometimes we have to answer questions that we know aren't the right question. So many times when I have people come up and say, well, I need to create an opt-in, what should we do? And I think there's a problem here. So I want to walk you through quickly how I think about this, and I'll talk about answering the first question second, or answering the second question first. This is going to take a little time to get around it because it's a way of thinking that will help you immensely, but it's counter to a lot of what we've been taught. Let's understand this. Now, for example, when you're creating an opt-in, you want to solve a known pain point or problem that your potential customer has. And you want to do this in a relatively easy and straightforward way. So it's a draw into your community. It's a draw into your ideas, your thoughts, and your understanding. It's a way of looking for a place to start the conversation. And once you've started that conversation, they can see whether they like, know, and trust you, and they may want to go on or they may not. It's a brilliant way of doing the most important thing, which is grabbing people from social media and bringing them into your own areas of conversation, whether that be email, whether that be your own private systems, whether that be your coursework, whatever. In the grand scheme of things, when you're starting to look at problems, you want to look at what they think the problem is, and then you are going to know that may not be the first problem. There may be a problem before that. And I know a lot of experts that love to talk about the problem before that. Don't worry about what you're worried about. Worry about, I know what you need to do. That's great once they know, like, and trust you. It does not matter a bit until they know, like, and trust you. What I'm going to encourage you to do is start thinking about your problems in multiple ways. Imagine, if you will, you do some social content and you know that one of the great problems with the male population is they don't know how to talk to women. So you give them the opportunity to opt in on how to talk to women. 7 phrases that you can use to start a conversation. 6 ways of going about doing that. But that's really not what they're worried about. They're really worried about how to ask for a date. So instead of talking to them about how to talk to women, you explain to them how easy it is. Here's a 4-step method on how to ask for the date. Because this is the real fear factor that they have. This is the point that they're concerned about. So they're really concerned about how to get the date. So here's a 4-point course. Sign up below and I will give you the 5 steps, the 7 steps, the 3 ways, the 2 sentences that will help you close that date. You explain that, you set that expectation, and at the end saying, great, now that you understand how to get that date, let me teach you on how to actually approach and talk to women. I have this course and it's $29 and it will walk you through how to approach women. Since you already know how to ask for the date, then we bring you in, and let me tell you that once you understand how to make the date, talking to those people is the first thing that you need to do, and I'm happy to teach you that. So I approached with the idea that I knew they were having trouble about how to ask for a date, but my knowledge as an expert and a dating coach is that it was difficult to talk to women. So in many ways, I want you to think about this in a ways of meet them where they are, even if you know that it's not right. It's not the right way. Meet them where they are and solve their problem first. Prove that you're an expert, and then help them solve the problem that they really need to know. It's a powerful tool that says, here, let me solve your problem, but I know as an expert that you're going to have another one that's just coming down the line, and I've already solved that for you. When video was coming out, I had a gentleman who was pitching me something, and he was talking about, let me show you how you get online and how you get video up and things like that. And he's like, and I know some of you are thinking, what kind of equipment and what kind of camera should I use? And what I did is, if you buy this, a bonus is exactly the systems I use and the processes I used to get this done. As an expert, I know that this is the biggest stumbling block, and I've already solved it for you. And let me tell you how fast I bought that product. It was one of the solutions. You're going to not only teach me, I recognize that I need to be in video. Now you're going to teach me exactly how to do it. I'm in. So not only solving the problem that I am in right now, but the first problem, the one that I know, is a wonderful way of getting people in and a wonderful way of closing, because they now know that you're an expert and believe that you know more than they and have seen more than they. So now that they can go in and actually touch base and learn from you. Then of course, once you get into the first problem, you can go to the third problem. Now that you know how to talk to women and how to ask for a date, then what's planning for a date? And you see how we're chunking that information so they can learn. What it does is it solves the problem, and it does not create a massive fear factor. But it solves a problem and creates a little bit of confidence where I can take the next step. It is the smaller step method, opposed to solving everything at once. So if you can solve the problem that exists and then offer what you know is going to be the next problem and solve that solution, it's a very easy way of going from a free to a paid account, or from what is a prospect into someone who's solving multiple issues. As an expert, you know the progression. Find where the pain points are and work your way forward and backward as the paid consulting part of that work. And sometimes it's not only here, let me teach you what you need to do, but let me teach you how to do it, but then I can also help you. Most of our viral social stacking clients recognize that they need to get social media out to multiple formats. They need it in podcast and in YouTube and in Facebook and in X and in LinkedIn and all of the other social media channels. And it's just hard to do. So I teach how to do it. It's about a 700-step process to get a video into all of these things. And I'll teach that on a regular basis, and I've done that on conferences and things like that. But you'd be amazed at how many people recognize how efficient it would be to actually have someone else do that for you and bring that information back and say, hey, here's what we can do for you. So even teaching that, knowing that in the end, the next step is, that's overwhelming, let me bring it back, is a powerful way of teaching the second step first. So what I'd like you to do is, as an expert in your field, I'd like you to take a look and see where you are in that teaching process. Are you teaching the first thing, or are you teaching something in the middle that you can go backwards and forwards? If you're not, take a look at the pain points in the middle and start creating opt-ins, start creating places where people can enter and learn about you, and then get more information on the back end. That will serve you to create a more powerful way of interacting with people, teaching them to know, like, and trust you, and give you the opportunity to really expand the conversations and expand the areas that you're talking in. What I'd love you to do is I'd love you to give me other examples of the second problem first. I've been using the dating example for a while. I'd love to outsource your ideas of what the second problem is, what people have trouble with, and then what they go to. Put it in the comments below. Let's start the conversation, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode on The Strategy Session, where we take your business from stuck to unstoppable. Here's another video I think you'd enjoy. If you found these insights valuable, remember to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell for notifications on our latest videos. Remember, you're not just marketing, you're making history with Venture Gained.